Welcome to another episode of For You to Survive. Today we're going to tie the adjustable bowstring knot. It makes it easier to adjust tension on the bow. Now, you might think, okay, chill dude. You've been talking about bows and bowstrings for so long, like do something else. Well, this is the bow drill, so we gotta get good at making bows for the bow drill, so I think that's a real important skill to have, so we won't overlook that. Now, when you have the option of using paracord or man-made string, this is a great option, especially when you have a smooth bow and you don't really have to do anything special. In fact, I found this by a river and a beaver chewed it up, so I didn't even have to make this, and it's a bow. Of course, you need a string. Well, let's get into it. This is going to be an exciting episode. I want to thank all my subscribers and everybody watching. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the episode. There are several options for making a bow. Basically a straight stick that's smooth without branches coming off is good. I found this one on a trail. I cut it up a little bit. Oh wow, look at this. Here's a stick. It's not unreasonable to find sticks that are smooth and don't have their bark on it, so of course to me this looks like a bow. That's possible. This is a beaver stick. A beaver chewed the end off here, chewed the end off here, and it's nice and smooth because it chewed off all the bark. Has a little bit of bend, flex to it, but this is possible for a bow. What is this? Whoa. This is a bow made by a beaver. There's a chewed up bark, looks like willow. It's the right length. That's just incredible. Then we got the willow. I made the willow video and I used this bow. I'll load the spindle. I'm trying to keep some tension in there. Oh, you saw a lot of bending in that bow. I'm not trying to break the bow though. This one has a fork, which is nice to have. I left a whistle on the end. That one's getting a little bit close to the end, but this one I gave more space between the bark and the wood, so that works a lot better. The bark has since hardened up, so these could actually be a grip for holding, which is nice, or it can be tied to a cord, have the fork there. This wood was actually the wood from the willow video that I took the bark off. It was that big long strip. I have this piece of willow, the sapling that I took, and this is the bark from it. It's quite a long piece. Okay, that's about the normal length. Let's get a chamfered end on it. Just take off the edges, the sharp edges, which isn't necessarily always a big deal, but if you're bowing and it hits your leg, it hurts less if the ends are chamfered, so that's definitely a nice thing to do. So it doesn't take long either. It helps. Okay. For cord, paracord is the cord from your neck knife, if that's what you choose to wear and do. But also, you got the paracord bracelet. So there's cordage options out there. This one has a fork, which is nice to have. Here's the overhand loop knot, and here's how to tie it. You make a bite, and then you make an overhand knot, pulling this through. That's the overhand knot part. And then we put it on top of the fork there. Or if we don't have a fork, we can just do the same thing I'm going to show you. We can do two knots. Now, without any kind of notches or grooves or forks, we're going to work on making a bow out of this. It's slippery, paracord's slippery, this is slippery, but with the knot I'm going to show you, the adjustable bowstring knot, you'll see how it all fits together. Let's take our string. I like to wear my knife around my neck, so I have it handy for myself. But I'm sure it's reasonable to think that this could be a bowstring for a bow drill. So generally I keep my bowstring, I like it about 4 feet long. So it's basically pinch it, put your arm out straight, put your thumb up, then do another thumb up. And that's about 4 feet. I measured this exactly at home with a ruler, so I know that it really is. Here's how to string the bow. Let's leave about a foot or so. A cord, 1, 2, 3. So that leaves us with 3 loops. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to tie the half hitches. I'm going to tie 1 half hitch in here, and then I'll tie the other half hitch. I'm going to show you a close-up. And you want to make them tight. You want to tighten this up so it stays on nice. And then there. You can count 3 loops. 1, 2, 3. That's going to be one end. Same thing on the other end. Leave about a foot or so. And then 1, 2, 3 loops showing. And then I'm going to tie my 2 half hitches. 1 half hitch and the other half hitch. Okay, that's the bow. Now it's ready for use. Here's a close-up of the adjustable bowstring knot. Take a decent length of cord and wrap it around 3 times so you have 3 loops. 1, 2, there's 3 loops. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to take it so we go over the top and make a half hitch. And we're going to go over the top of the string and make a half hitch again. And you want this fairly tight. Tight enough and dress it up. So now, there's our knot. And when we pull on it, it does separate a little bit, but you can see our 3 loops. 1, 2, 3. More tension, bring to the end of the bow. Less tension, bring towards the center of the bow. Here's an option if you're worried about the string slipping through. Tie an overhand knot on the end of the bow string. Leave a little bit there. Tie your 3 loops. 1, 2, 3. Now we can count them. 1, 2, 3. And the string's on one side, so we'll go over the string, tie it there, and we'll go over the string again and tie it in there. And then there's our adjustable bowstring knot. Now what's going to happen is this loop will go closer to the knotted end, so now it's really going to stay where you want. And you adjust it as needed. The adjustable bowstring is great because once you load the spindle into the bow, you might decide, oh, it's too loose. Well, with your hand, you pull it, and now there's more tension on the bowstring. You need even more, squeeze even more. Now it's a pretty tight spindle in the bowstring. If you need less tension, simply slide the knot towards the center of the bow. You have the option of doing a double wrap of the spindle, and I generally think that's a little loose, so I'm going to tilt my spindle about 45 degrees, and with this hand I'm going to tighten up the tension on the bow. Now I should have just the right amount of tension for what I got to do. It's raining now, but let's go after this hemlock stump. That's dry. Oh yeah, that's dry. Looks like I got something to use. There's a tree. It's dead. I can use that. Here's that tree that I pushed down. We're looking for dry shavings on the inside because it is a rainy kind of day. So, gonna collect these. This is nice and dry. This feels like it's definitely gonna work. I want to keep them dry off the floor. I'll keep them on that inner side of the hemlock bark. The inside would be drier than the outside. We'll get rid of some of the top layer here. Now we can go in a little bit, collect these scraps. That one fell, so I'm going to leave it alone as much as I want to use it. All right, I think you get the idea. Just going to make a bunch of these. Now I have this bark from the hemlock, the punky stuff. So I'll get a bunch of that worked up. Nice and powdery. I'll save this one just in case I need more. So that's my plan. I'm using a moose antler, a white cedar spindle, and a white cedar fireboard. And let's make this happen. Got the ember already. We'll just let it form. Now it's time to get some flames here. I'll put this in the punky wood dust. I'll use this. My hand's going to act like a dam so it doesn't blow away. Had flames there. We'll get more. We're burning now. It's been raining today. I've been rained on in this process. That's why I went for the inner part of the wood. A little bit of air accelerates the burning. There it is. We got our flames on a rainy day.